We'll give your room to her, Mom said indifferently. You can sleep on the couch. Really? I smiled. Great. I'll start packing my things today. The next day, without them, I signed the lease. Hi, my name is Irina. I'm 24 years old and I live in Alicante. I don't usually write things like this, I don't even use social media. But today, I don't know, something inside me exploded and I need to let it out. I work as a cashier at Mercadona. I've been there for 4 years. I wake up at 6, shower in 5 minutes, put on my uniform and go spend 8 hours standing up. Beep beep code, beep beep coins, bag, force smile, customers who don't even look at me, people complaining that the bread is hard or that there's no change. My feet hurt as if I'm walking on fire. And when the shift ends, the second one begins. I get home and I have to clean, cook, take my little sister to the conservatory, take care of my grandmother who can barely walk, check that the bills have been paid. Everything always, and nobody appreciates it, nobody sees it because it's normal, because Irina can handle everything. And I swallowed it, I believed it. The first time I learned to be quiet was at 15. I had been accepted into a design school in Madrid. I was excited. I thought that finally something was for me. But my mother cried. She told me it was too hard for her alone, that my sister needed me, that I was the only one who knew how to take good care of grandma. And I, with my suitcase half packed and my heart half broken, said okay, I'll stay a year. That year turned into 9. My mother hasn't worked for years. She says she has anxiety, that the world is very unfair to her. My father left when I was 10. My sister is 15, thinks she's a princess and takes advantage of everything. And my grandmother, well, she at least sometimes looks at me sadly and says, "This wasn't your life, girl." And that bothers me more than anything else. But what broke me was today. I was washing dishes with my headphones on and my mother says to me, just like that, as if she were telling me it's going to rain, "Hey Irina, your cousin Eva is coming to live here to study. We're going to give her your room. You can sleep on the couch." Not even a thank you, not even a sorry, as if I didn't exist, as if I were just another piece of furniture. And you know what I did? Nothing. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I didn't even say okay. I finished washing the glass, put it on the shelf, went to my room, grabbed my backpack, put a few things in it and walked out the door. I didn't look back, I didn't say goodbye. I just left. Now I'm here in a tiny studio that I'm renting with a girl I barely know, but who has already treated me better than my own family. She lent me a blanket, offered me tea, and said thank you for helping her with some boxes. Do you know how long it's been since anyone thanked me? Now I'm sitting on the floor with my backpack next to me, and the smell of incense in the room. Writing this so I don't go crazy. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. I don't have a plan, but for the first time in years I'm not afraid and I'm not going back. I just wanted someone out there to know, for someone, even a stranger, to read this and say, Irina isn't crazy, Irina is fed up, because I'm not a maid or a nanny or a free caregiver. I'm a person, and today I'm finally choosing myself. Post 2 on Reddit. Update from the girl who left home after they took her room. Well, hello again. I didn't think I'd be writing here again so soon, but I needed to vent again. What's happening is so absurd that I don't know whether to laugh or scream. It's been exactly 6 days since I left home. I left without drama, without slamming doors, without shouting. I just left. I haven't answered messages, I haven't called, nothing. And until a couple of days ago, total silence, as if my absence were just a commercial break in their lives. But now the calm is over. It all started with a voice message from my mother at 7:12 in the morning, because of course it doesn't matter if I'm working. She lives in her own emotional time zone. Irina, honey, I don't know where you are, but we need you to come back. The washing machine broke, and we don't know how to fix it. Your grandmother got all her clothes dirty. Please answer. You're not well. We miss you, only the washing machine. Come fix it? I ignored it. 3 hours later, another message. I had to call the technician and it costs $85. You can pay it since you work. What a surprise. Then it was my sister, a story worthy of Netflix. Eva, the brilliant cousin, stayed in my room, as you already know. Apparently, she can't stand that Claudia, my little sister, enters without knocking, touches her things and borrows her hairdryer. And of course my mother told her. Well, when Irina was here, she kept things in order. So Claudia sent me a message saying, Aunt, come back now, this annoying girl is driving me crazy, and Mom doesn't even know how to make lentils. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I left because they treated me like a maid, and now they complain that nobody keeps order or cooks. I don't know how to explain to them that that was precisely the problem. Then came the emotional blackmail. My mother wrote me last night something that left me speechless. I copy it verbatim. Your grandmother is sad. She hasn't eaten well since you left. She says her chest hurts. Are you really going to continue punishing us like this? Punishing them for going to live my life? Not for years of using me as a tool? Not for taking away my room without asking? Not for making me feel invisible? No. The problem is that I didn't come back. Meanwhile, I'm here in a tiny studio but quiet, working my hours, resting my feet. Finally, yesterday, I did something I haven't done in years. I sat down to watch a movie without looking at the clock. I made myself pasta without having to cook for 4. Nobody asked me for anything. And you know what? Feels too good to go back. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sundays would be family day, paella, yelling chores for Irina. And I know they're waiting for me to show up, to walk in like always with grocery bags and an exhausted face, but no, not this time. Sometimes I feel guilty, yes, because I'm human, because I still have wounds that my family made me believe were duties. But then I read that message again. You can pay it since you work, and it passes. I feel that this story is not over yet, that the worst and the best is yet to come, and this time I'm in control. Post 3 on Reddit. Remember I told you the good stuff was coming? Well, it arrived today. Something happened that still has me shaking, not from fear but from adrenaline, because for the first time I didn't shut up. And I swear it was like taking a cement backpack off my soul. It was 12:40, middle of my shift at Mercadona. People lining up, yelling for the offers, the fishmongers shouting fresh hake. The usual. I was at my register, scanning products with that automatic smile that gets tattooed on us, and suddenly I see her, my mother, walking through the door with that face she only makes when she's going to play the victim. Behind her, my sister Claudia and surprise cousin Eva. The 3 of them as if they were parading the biggest drama of the year. She saw me and came straight over without asking permission, without caring that I was working with people in line. She stood in front of me, crossed her arms and said, "Are you really going to continue with this nonsense here in public, as if you didn't have a family?" I noticed how the line fell silent. A man stopped putting things in his bag. A woman took her son's arm and turned around, curious. I was shocked for 2 seconds and then answered without raising my voice. "I'm working." "Well, that's what this is about," she insisted. "Your grandmother won't stop crying. Do you know what she said today? That if you don't come back, she's going to let herself die." Boom. There it was, emotional blackmail, God level. I felt something rising inside me like fire. And I don't even know how, but I spoke without thinking. "Then let her eat, let her get up, let you take care of her. Don't talk to me like that. Look at how you are. You think this is life? Earning peanuts in a supermarket." And that's when something broke, because a memory came to me that made me burn inside. I was 14 years old, studying for a history exam. I had gotten a 9 on the previous one. I was excited and she came into the room and said, "Are you studying again? If you like it so much, you could help your sister too. Don't be selfish, you already know more." It was always that. If I knew, I had to give. If I could, I had to yield. It was never enough. I looked at her directly, firmly. "You know what's worse than working in a supermarket?" "What?" she said sarcastically. "Living your whole life waiting for your daughter to play mother, nurse, and bank. And when that daughter leaves, not even knowing how to make lentils." Claudia let out a nervous laugh. Eva looked down. "You don't understand what it means to sacrifice for a family, Irina," my mother snapped. "No, what's happening is that I've finally stopped doing it, and that bothers you." My hands were shaking, but I continued. "I'm not your maid, I'm not a nanny, I'm not your solution, and I'm not coming back." The people in line didn't say anything, but someone murmured softly, "Well said, daughter." My boss came running out, thinking it was a crazy customer. She looked at me worriedly, but didn't intervene. My mother looked at me as if she didn't know me, and said in a low voice as if it hurt, "You're not the daughter I raised." "And you're not the mother I deserved," I replied. They left just like that, without buying anything. I stood there, breathing heavily, my heart pounding and inside light free. When my shift ended, I went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and for the first time I felt like myself, without guilt, without fear, without having to justify myself. I'm going to stay here in my studio with my cheap incense, with my roommate who asks me how my day was, with my small bed, but mine with my life ahead of me. And if I ever have a family again, it will be people who love me for being Irina, not for what I give, not for what I clean, not for what I pay. Post on Reddit. A coworker asked me a silly question and it bothers me inside. Hi again. I don't know why I keep writing here, but I guess it's the only place where I don't have to pretend. Something weird happened to me today. I mean, small but weird. Just one sentence, nothing more, but it stirred me more than all the drama with my family. I'm at Mercadona, afternoon shift, everything normal, customers, registers, heat, foot pain, the usual. I'm training the new guy, his name is Lucas. He's a good guy, very new, very good vibes. He's 21, seems like a good person, talkative, a little clumsy but nice. Anyway, the thing is, we were putting bags away and he was talking and out of nowhere he says, "Do you have anyone to take care of you?" I was speechless, literally. I didn't know what to say. I let out a fake laugh and said, "Nah, I'm good like this." I lied, obviously I lied. Someone to take care of me? Not a chance. My mother only calls me if she needs something. My sister ignores me if I don't give her money. My grandmother, well, you know. My father doesn't exist. My old friends only write to me for favors. Nobody takes care of me. They never took care of me. I was always the one taking care since I was 10 years old, since I learned how to heat food on my own and help with grandma. I didn't cry at work, but it hurt. I went home, got in the shower, and there, yes, I let it out. I don't even know why. Just came out. Not because of Lucas, obviously, he doesn't even know me. It was for everything, for years accumulated, and for that awkward phrase that no one had ever said to me. Afterwards, I sat on the bed. I was exhausted. I thought, I have to do something for myself, something minimal. So I looked for online design courses. I signed up for a basic one, €50. I don't know if I'll finish it, but for the first time in a long time, I did something that wasn't for anyone else, just for me. My roommate saw me come out of the shower with red eyes. She didn't say anything. She just offered me a clean towel and said, "If you want to watch a show, I'm putting on a comedy." And that was already much more than my family has given me in years. So yeah, who takes care of me? For now, nobody. But I'm learning to start with myself. Small step, but it's something. Update, well, it happened. My mother, my sister, and of course cousin Eva came. They stood in front of my building as if this were a Netflix movie. And yes, luckily I have a video intercom because I wouldn't open it without seeing who it was. It was 11:30 in the morning, my day off. I was in my pajamas, coffee in hand, watching the next video of the course, relaxed, and suddenly ring ring. I look at the little screen, there they are. My mother with a funeral face, my sister with a face of I didn't want to come. And Eva with that air of superiority she always has. What joy, huh? I pressed the button to speak. I didn't yell, I didn't sigh, I just said, "What are you doing here?" And my mother, without saying hello or anything, says, "Irina, we need to talk to you in person, not on the phone. This is too much." Too much what? I replied, "I'm not coming down. I'm fine. You're the ones who don't know how to be without me." My mother already had her little speech ready. "Look, daughter, we're not here to argue, we just want to talk like a family. Family, right? Now we're family." I remembered the message she sent me 2 weeks ago asking me to pay for the washing machine technician. I remembered when they took away my room as if I were an old backpack. I remembered everything and said, without raising my voice, "No, I'm not playing that role anymore." "What role?" she asked, all indignant. "The role of the useful daughter, the one who's always there. That's over." Claudia, my sister, joined the conversation. "Mom is bad, Irina, since you left. Grandma is worse and the house is a mess. Nobody even knows how to turn on the washing machine." Literally, that hit me. As if that were an argument to return. I laughed. I couldn't help it. "Well, you'll learn like I learned when I was 14. Eva, who was quiet, blurted out, "In the end, this is immature, you know. It seems like you're getting revenge." That made me laugh for real. I took a deep breath and said, "If you think setting boundaries is revenge, it's because you were very comfortable before." My mother tried the emotional number again. "You're going to lose your family, Irina, out of pride. You're going to be alone. And their friends," was when I let out the most sincere thing I've said in years. I've already been alone for years. Only before I lived with you. Silence. Not another word. I cut off the intercom. I didn't go down. I didn't open the door. I made myself another coffee, put on my headphones, and continued with my course. In the afternoon, I found a note stuck to the door of the building. "Call me when you get over it," it said. They didn't sign it, but I know it was my mother. I ripped it off, threw it away. I didn't feel anything, and I don't feel bad about it. I'm going on with my life. I'm still learning. I'm still breathing without being asked for favors every 10 minutes. And for the first time in my life, I feel like all this mess is worth it. Update: Hi. This is my last post. I already told everything, but I had to write this. On Saturday, I went to see my grandmother. Not because they called me, not because of pressure. I went because I felt it. It wasn't to stay, it was to look her in the eyes and tell her, I'm fine. Nothing more and nothing less. When I arrived, she was in her armchair as always. She looked at me and said without drama, "Look who came, the one who learned to be alone." We laughed a little. I made her some tea, put her blanket on her. We were silent for a while and I said, "Don't worry, I haven't come back." "I know," she said. "But I'm glad to see you." I showed her the letter I found, the one she wrote me years ago. She stared at it for a while. "I wrote that." "Yes." And it was just what I needed to read. She didn't say much more. She just looked at me with that face of hers that says more than 1,000 phrases and said, "I'm glad someone in this family has broken out of the same old cycle." We said goodbye with a kiss on the forehead. There were no promises, no tears, just respect and closure. I walked back unhurried, without weight, without that feeling of having to justify every step. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was escaping from something. I felt like I was coming back to myself. Now I'm at home, candles lit, course open, notebook with ideas next to it. Lucas wrote me to get together next week. I said yes because I want to, because I can choose, because I'm no longer afraid to do things for myself. Thank you for reading me, for the comments, the messages, and for making me feel less alone. And if you're going through something similar, I'll leave you with this, which was what helped me understand everything the most. I was already alone, only before I lived with them. Now I'm alone, but it's different because now I'm with myself, and that's everything to me. Responding to Reddit. Hi, I just want to get this out quickly and that's it. I read several comments on my posts, many were supportive, thank you really, but there were also people who came to say things like, "You're exaggerating. It's your mother, you shouldn't do that. What if something happens to her tomorrow and she is and you're not taking care of her anymore? You think you're special? Yours is pure drama. It seems like you just want attention." And look, it hurts to read that even though I should be used to it. I spent years shutting up so I wouldn't hear just that. Years doing everything for everyone because that's what there is. Years without sleeping well, without doing anything for myself, without a damn breath. And when I finally leave, they tell me I'm selfish. Seriously? I didn't leave on a whim. I left because if I stayed one more month, I would have completely broken down. I couldn't take it anymore. And for someone from the internet to tell me that one day I'm going to regret it. Look, the only thing I would have regretted is staying there, pretending that everything is fine, continuing to let them use me, continuing to forget about myself. I'm not a saint. I'm sure I made mistakes, but what I lived through I didn't make up. And if for you that's not reason enough to set a boundary, perfect, live your life however you want, but don't tell me how to live mine. To those who sent me good vibes, thank you. To those who understood me without judging, thank you even more. And to those who keep saying I'm ungrateful. You don't know me, you don't know what I put up with, so stop giving your opinion as if you were part of my story. That's all. I'm fine, I'm going on with my life. I don't need approval, just peace of mind, and luckily I have it now.